Yeah, but let people have time to get in. Oh shit, straight away got a fight. Okay. Oh shit, straight into it. Oh shit, I'm getting slapped by something. Oh shit, I think I'm nearly dying. Oh shit.
I cannot breach the barrier while these denizens defy me. Working on it.
Oh, I should have done him to do a special one.
Slice and dice.
Peter, maybe hurry up with those nests.
Oh, the nests. Oh yeah, I'm not meant to be. I'm not meant to be just shooting random little things. Oh shit, I messed that up. Let's do one of these.
Slide another one. Branch out, crew. We got this one.
Oh shit! I should just jump off. Maybe shut the fuck up, Gamora. Jesus. Oh, there was one over here.
That should do it.
Oh, could I just gone up here? Oh no, right over here.
Incoming!
There's gotta be a way to
He's gotta find it for himself somehow. Buy some time, group.
get them.
Oh, there's still one over there. Shit. Fuck.
That's the last one.
Oh, good.
Endless entropy.
I feel like I was failing. Oh yeah, and a Morlock's here.
Good.
Flarkin' nowhere is where we are.
Huh.
Maybe it's not all bad. I don't see any new promise, at least.
We are an empty eternal echo. Naked nothingness.
Not helping. Hobo wizard. All right, everyone just split up and look for a way out. Or forward, or whatever.
I lose a bet if I die in a dark pit.
It was alone in a dark pit.
Mantis! A little help here!
Ow!
Rocket!
I tried pinching myself. You and your Flarkin' Earth superstitions.
I'd try anything at this point. Wake up!
There. Look.
Oh, there it is.
I can't believe that worked.
Let's go. Part of him is still with us, I'm sure of it.
I hope you've got one hell of a speech plan, Peter.
Yeah.
That makes two
Well,
of
good
us.
speeches. Hey, Drex, buddy.
Why are you doing this? Do not leave me be.
You gotta trust us, Drax. We're trying to help.
By destroying my home.
Yeah.
Your blissful ignorance is an ignoble pursuit.
Easy, Shakespeare. We got this.
Oh yeah, I forgot to put Rock on his little
Come
green
on.
costume.
You don't really want to stay in this dark hole?
I would endure the depths of Sarduth to be with my family.
Drax, love. It is time to eat.
Move on.
Look, I get it, man. They seem really special.
They are the only thing that matters. My Hovat was the most fearless mate I've ever known. She brought me peace even during times of war. Like Maria. my innocent little Chimera.
Yeah, but they're dead.
She
Who
was
wants
the
to hang out
best
with
of us
dead people?
both.
They're boring.
Despite her meager stature, they both were.
Both were. That's right, buddy.
They were.
They aren't. They were.
Will. My family is gone. What sits before me?
A chair.
I don't know. But it's not real. And it ain't good.
It is a perversion, fed by desperation.
A little Drax having a moment.
Without it, I will have nothing.
You got us, bud. And those like tattoos.
I cannot be alone again.
You're not alone, man. We're here for you.
We've all lost someone, Drax. But
In
it
it,
gets
though.
easier if you surround yourself with the right people.
Join our team and clan.
Groot said some mushy stuff. Let's just pretend I said it too. We're a team.
Yeah, we
Papa?
got your back.
Are you okay?
That ain't your
Join
girl,
us,
son.
Drax.
It's not her.
Yeah, Drax back in the hood. Oh. So I forgot he's got like his little boxing gear on.
Are you hurt, Papa?
Talk to us, love.
I will cherish the time that we had.
Yeah, there we go, Drax.
And not resent the time that we lost.
Did you just stab them?
Love and honor you both. Always.
I know, he didn't need to stab them. You could just walked away, right? Maybe he did need to stab them. Oh. Is that Adam Warlock? Oh no, that's Adam Warlock. This is the anti-Warlock.
How you doing, big guy? You okay?
I am of sound mind, thanks to you all. I owe amends for my lapse in judgment.
Hey, you don't owe us squat. Ain't none of us perfect.
Yeah, I'll
It's kind
speak
of
for
our
yourself.
thing.
Let's just pause it. 2 seconds. My bot doesn't seem to be working. So let me post out the streams live. Yeah, that's usually helpful, right? Okay, back to it.
How much do you remember?
Great darkness grew with every lie that I swallowed. The longer I remained with my family, the more certain I became that I could never leave. Quill, your child is in danger. If her pain is half my own, the darkness may consume her entirely.
That'd suck.
Not if I can help it.
We gotta be smart about this. There's a whole lot of converted between us and her.
Whole lot of that black blorf, too. And anyone want to tell me why Harry Hobo was able to suck it up?
Morrison, why that thing looked like him.
Yeah.
Because it is me.
Oh, there you go. Oh, I liked him better as a gold dude. I suppose he's just still gold dude, just with a costume. Why does he need a costume?
Time to go.
Oh, okay. We've got a little ragtag team here.
Hey, Goldie Braun! Want to get back here and explain that bombshell?
Time is tight,
Yeah, right.
and your understanding unimportant.
Can I shoot him? Come on, let me shoot him.
Hey, we're in this together, and Smart Money says it's gonna be a tough fight.
Even in earnest, you underestimate.
You underestimate.
So, anything you can tell us about what we're up against will be a plus.
Imagine ambivalent omnipotence, drifting in dark. Such was my celestial solitude.
Oh,
Power without
okay.
purpose, until uncovered by Raker. His crew were convalescent. Plagued by a pox, I was serendipitously suited to soothe.
A ship full of sick people just happens upon someone with limitless healing?
We were need and needed, symptom and solace. They worshipped the wonder of my ways and declared me divine.
That's
I
nice,
think
isn't it?
we know where this is going.
I do not know where this is going.
This is the scary part.
As the flock of followers fawned, a dark delight developed deep within me.
Huh?
And in the shadows it spoke. Weak whelps, pernicious priesting, feeble fools, fit for feasting.
Oh, you ate them.
Hubris made hunger. A cancerous craving called Magus.
Just
What
see
did
it's
it
saying, yeah.
want?
Complete devotion. I too heard this voice, and could hear nothing else.
Adulation, flagellation, gorged with grief and consternation.
Love their rhymes, don't they?
Told you this was the scary part.
It was pure
Poems on scary
putrefaction,
matters. Jeez.
sown from the seed of my strength. My soul stone gone sour. I resolved
sour, I
to
don't
rip
know
it
what
out.
happened.
Rip it out? How?
A mechanical marvel wrought by Raker
bloody
would
hell.
sever the stone from my skull and excise the evil entangled within.
Translation: you let Raker steal your powers.
A little bit.
Whatever his wayward wander, he was on that day my friend.
Huh.
He swore to separate
how he got
sanctity
the
from
golden
sin,
nose?
that my healing could yet be harnessed without harm.
Sure, but who's harnessing it?
I'm with Rocket. Raker knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah, he's a
That
dick.
man's a master manipulator. Damn it! Now you've got me doing it.
I bear no blame for my fallen friend. Our errant experiment all but broke us both.
Then how do you explain how your best bud got his hands on the stone and is now taking over the galaxy?
I cannot.
Good question.
I think I can answer that. After I rejected my promise, I got pulled into Nikki's. Pharrell was there. She was trying to show me something.
Peter, you can't trust anything you saw in there.
This was different, and it felt different. She took me back to the QZ and I saw that Magus thing. I saw it get all twisted up with Nikki and I saw it kill Corell.
You hear yourself? How'd she show you this if she's dead?
Quite conceivable. Her soul may be snared by the stone, chained to the child.
That's what Corell said. The three of them are somehow connected.
That's what they said.
She said Nikki needs to accept her death.
Magus preys upon her pain, manipulates her mind while feeding on her flock of followers.
And I'm guessing it never gets full.
Its appetite is insatiable. If unassailed, Magus will absorb all.
We're gonna need one hell of a plan.
Well, you better come up
Shoot
with
him.
it quick, because I see daylight.
The bond between Magus and Matriarch must be broken. It harvests its hunger through the host.
So, Nikki's like the head vampire. If we cure her, it'll free the rest.
Cure.
Why
Yeah,
didn't you just
sure.
say that?
So step one, find
Oh,
Nikki.
okay.
Step
Back to-
2, convince
back
her
to
mom
walking.
ain't coming back from the dead.
Step 3, get that stone away from her and mop the floor with that Magus thing.
You show
Nice,
no
three-step plan.
shortage of assurance.
Yeah, this one's Mr. Positivity. It's enough to make you sick.
The stone is both bondage and bridge for Magus, and a young mind is most malleable.
So we just need to shoot
Magus
her
is
mind.
merged with hers, she may not survive the severing.
We won't let it come to that.
Not to join the Golden Downer. Then how are we supposed to find the kid? What are you... Oh,
What's going...
Flark.
Oh,
What?
Flark.
Huh. Sand.
They've got the cortex. They can go anywhere, convert anyone.
She's looking fancy though. Got that drip. We just got to kill Darth Nikki. And it's all fine, right? Oh, that's a big old hand.
You need to go now.
Why does that sound like you're not coming with us?
These are my people. Some still survive if I stay.
Then we'll stay and help.
Go. I'll be where I'm needed when I need to be.
Fair enough. I mean, she would know, wouldn't she? So, have a lovely day.
Just trust me.
And she said we're there.
Don't go dying on me.
Don't go dying. Just
I'm starting to actually get you.
She'll die. Yeah, she gonna die. She doesn't even have a ship. She doesn't even have a skateboard. Get an achievement or something? What happened there?
You wanna
I like
pop
the
a
paper
squawk,
airplanes, not
golden
snow
boy? You're
sails
making
before.
me nervous.
Or perhaps your nerves need gnawing.
What did I do?
This precarious plan proves more meek by the moment.
Looks like he's
The
got plug
Madonna was
sockets in
meant
his
to
arm.
be among us.
She knows what she's doing. Eventually.
Sorry sins I have wrought to wrest me among such a motley crew.
Did he? Did he take my room?
Not so much as a yip from the mud. Groot says he'll keep trying. Where's Mr. Fancy Words?
It is assumed Peter Quill's quarters. It was a daring display of dominance.
Don't you start.
Usually I'd say, who needs him, but we do. So you better fix this one, Quill.
Yeah, easy.
Just try not to piss him off any more than he already is.
If it is to be a fight to the death, I will honor the outcome.
If he kills you, I get your guns.
Fair. Okay, first thing I'm gonna do
Wouldn't bet on Peter winning that fight. Took all 5 of
is-
us to beat
How do I get to the menu?
him last time.
Right, I'm gonna put everyone back in their starter uniforms. Yeah. Oh no, how do I go to the next person? I thought there was a quick button, but I don't think there is. Okay. Alright, sweet. That's already set original. Right, yeah. Yeah.
Time.
I still can't believe he caught one of my smart bombs. Just like that.
We have already fought the man.
Hold on. You don't remember?
I remember sparring against the Celestial Madonna in a small village.
Gonna let me finish this
In the
chat
cold
first, then we'll
darkness of the
chat to him
promise
individually.
devouring my soul. Until you found me.
Yeah, you missed a lot.
Moore, are you okay letting
What are you
Mantis fight the church alone out there?
She won't fight. She'll focus on evacuating people. Maybe they can all hide in the caves.
So she's just gonna let the church take over her homeworld?
Mantis would tell you that people matter more than the planet. And she knows that the church won't stop coming until we rescue Nikki.
You have
Don't
great
stop coming,
confidence
don't
in this
stop
Celestial
coming.
Madonna.
She's one of the few people I know I can trust.
Really? She freaks me out.
Because she's smarter than you?
And kinder.
Hey, that nickname makes my
Okay,
skin
screw it.
crawl. I'm furry, not fuzzy. Not even that little. Hey, Quill.
You seem like you're in a good mood.
It does.
Do I? I've got a
Hey,
great
Beefy
idea for a new
baby. How you
blaster
doing today, my
extension.
man?
Can't wait to put it together.
Damn, good to see you, geez. Let's express
Well,
gratitude.
now that the
and then
gang's
use the
back
workbench.
together and we've got a minute to breathe, I think you deserve an official thank you for what you did on Lamentus.
Thank you. Yeah.
Quill, I
Currently not dying
I
from
know
sickness.
you don't like
Hey!
that
Oh
kind of
man, well
sappy stuff, but
you've been in the ill
I
bags.
really mean it. Knowing about the crap those
What kind of
scientists
sickness?
did to you,
Hopefully not a
not
butt one.
only does it make my blood boil,
Reach a manageable
it
level of
puts
sicky.
everything in
Hey!
perspective.
Come on.
It's that bit where you
It was
can just
a
shove
puddle.
tissues up your
I don't know
nose.
if I could have
and
gotten
you
over
might get
something
away
like
with it.
that.
COVID for almost
Saved their
3 months.
lives,
Fucking
man.
hell, man.
You deserve a bit of praise.
That's horrible.
Rodent saved your lives, and scientists were involved. I have many questions.
Yeah, well, save them for the next time we all get a drink together,
That must
buddy.
have been brutal.
Yeah, I heard you.
What kind of symptoms have you got from it? Do I have enough for any? Oh, I have enough for a few things. Right, okay. So we can get low life buff. Right about when we start playing Raft. Right. Maybe you got it on one of the islands. Makes sense. Yeah, shit. Generate shield, increase health. Done that. Slow time briefly when dodging at the last second. I mean, that would finish off the boots. Fuck it. Let's just go for that.
Ding, ding, done.
And then I don't think we can afford any others. Okay.
This work is worth more than your worth, Quill.
Alright, well, that's rude.
Glad you're back on our side, Drax. I got a feeling we'll need to go full destroyer on this one.
I shall be ready,
You've got
Peter
sinus
Quill.
issues, a
I
cough
have
that's
witnessed
went
the
up,
threat
headaches,
posed by
lights,
Magus
sensitive body aches
firsthand.
like a month's late.
No one should suffer from its
Man.
malignant lies.
Yeah, that sounds rough.
I owe all of you a great debt of gratitude. It'd be my honor to fight beside you with all of my might.
That's a lot of might. Groot agrees with you, Muscles.
See up the front? I can't
Sounds
tell
like
the
we've got
gritters.
ourselves a nice church butt-kicking party.
I don't think that's where Golden Boy went to.
He's in your cabin if you're looking for him, Peter.
I'm not
I
looking
know.
for him.
Hey, that one's from Lamentus. Does that mean it's a sacred plant? Groot, did you steal a sacred plant from Lamentus?
It's not in there. Where the fuck is Groot? The room of red. Where is Groot? I've got to go check the front. There he is.
Did you reach Cosmo? It may be up to us to stop the church in nowhere. You ready?
Glad it's starting to ease up though, beefy dude.
He's worried
Hopefully in
about
another
the
month
mutt.
you might
Says
actually,
it will
like-
be easier with his help.
Be chill with
I didn't
it.
think Cosmo would let the church take over a station, but if they got the Cortex, then
He is but one canine against the army of the converted.
I take it Groot didn't reach Cosmo?
No dice.
The tree is persistent. He will keep trying.
He was the most convinced we could bring you back.
really
you
need
know?
to get some just,
I don't
like,
know
tape
if it's
on that fridge.
optimism or stubbornness, but it works for him.
Hey, Warlock. Open up. This is my room, you know. And that would be my cassette cover.
You penned this pithy poetry?
It's not poetry, it's music. Hard rock.
In about a month I might
It's
not have a
supposed to
sinus
have
back up. I'll be
guitars
able to
and
breathe out of
bass
both
and
nostrils.
drums.
That would be lovely.
Simplistic scriptures.
Oh, man.
As is its scribe.
How's your,
Okay.
like, have you
What's
had, like,
your
a lack of
deal,
taste
man?
and
What
stuff?
did I do to piss you
Well, I
off?
suppose when you've got, like, blocked
Your
nose and shit, you're not
lamentable
really
leadership
tasting shit
allowed the
anyway, are
Madonna
you?
to leave when we needed her talents to travel to the telepathic realm.
Mantis had good reason to stay behind. We just need to get Nikki and get the hell out so we can find her again.
Your tenuous tactics trust too much to fortune.
Tenuous
Can you
tactics
confidently
trust too
convince
much.
me your meager
Damn, son.
measures may amply manage this mission?
Loving that alliteration. I didn't listen.
My meager what?
Your meager metal. We stand against an adversary unlike any before. Blinded by burning
Hey, Invaliders!
hope-fueled
How you
hate.
doing, dude?
Magus, right, your evil
Taste and smell
twin.
work just fine.
That's our
Okay, cool.
adversary.
Tasted all just not us producing.
Before such
Not
a blaze,
quite as cool.
Still a
Ugh.
stooge may steal.
Oh, that's brutal.
But your wide-eyed
That's Adam
wonder
Warlock.
is merely wit
Yeah.
and moxie. You strut as an insecure cock, uncertain of his stature.
Insecure.
Does that mean what I think it means?
Super busy, but life
This
is great.
audacity
Hey,
acts
nice to
like
hear it,
stilts
man.
on
Yeah,
sand as the
same.
tide throws
Also
you
been
in.
pretty busy recently.
Bleeding must be right off the fullness of your yearning
Yeah,
yoke.
good to see you, though, dude.
Will
What
it
you been?
be so?
What you been doing? Oh, I didn't listen.
Yes. Absolutely.
Wise words. Sure and measured,
Okay.
but beheld by my bemused misgivings. Your demeanor differs distinctly in direction from my more willful ways.
Oh, he says a lot of words.
Maybe we can meet in the middle then.
Yes. An oath. Will you own an oath to operate with greater aggression? To give gravitas to gravid seasons of your soul and struggle not to stand on destiny's icy flows?
Sure.
Sure. Man. Whatever
A lot
it
of 3D
takes.
stuff. Hells yeah,
Then assert
dude.
it.
That's what I like to hear.
I swear I'll be a good leader. That'll be decisive.
Table and wall art
and,
designs for CNC machining.
I won't let
Fucking
Manus do whatever
A,
she
nice. Hells yeah,
Stand
dude. How's it
partially
been going?
reassured.
I'm still slowly getting into the 3D stuff. I've just come back from like a week or so away with my girlfriend where we play for a little orchestra. So I've been busy with that, but yeah, I've been trying to get on that a bit more.
What about you, Mr. Fancy Words? How do I know you won't see Raker and have a change of heart?
Why would I weasel away?
Didn't you used to be best buds with him?
We were common company for a fleeting fallow.
Basically, what I've been told from like
Through
my
which I
sort of job
witnessed the
search ventures at the moment is I need to
incommensurable
focus
extent of
on
his
more like 3D modeling
mourns his
and
lost son.
concept art design.
That's why he's doing
So
all
concept's
this.
not as bad because even if I'm a
Church,
shit
the
drawer, you
matriarch,
can still do like basic
'cause he wants
concepts.
to get his
you know,
kid
but,
back. But that can't happen, right? Megas
I
can't.
need
No.
to plod on with like Blender and shit.
Cannot.
So,
Great, we've got some good results
can
and some
count on
orders
you?
coming in that should
when
continue
you
to stack
reunite
up.
with Raker,
Fucking
that
A,
man's
hells
gotta
yeah.
go down.
Indubitably.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. Like, I've got quite a lot of positive reception for like the texture side when I've been like hunting and
So,
stuff,
how
but
is he?
yeah, it's the lack of modeling that's really let me
Frustrating.
down.
It's like talking to Suzanne Harris
But
at the
just
summer
gotta-
dance
just gotta
all
get on
over
it.
again.
Have you got any like
the Yumi girl you tried
recommended
to impress
resources
with
to
your
learn
yo-yo
from?
skills?
I've mainly been like Blender
Yeah,
Guru and
and
just
it went about as well
YouTube
as talking
videos,
to Mr.
basically.
Cape.
What's a yo-yo?
What's a yo-yo? Jesus, come on. Thanks very much, dude. Yeah, see, but that's the problem. Like, I get like, I start trying to learn like the Blender and stuff, and then I'm like, but actually, I
Yeah,
kind of want to
Man's
finish that
stronger than she
texture
looks.
project I
How
started.
is she connected with my
The
source?
kind of luckily and unluckily, my substance painter, I was
She rode
using
your back all the way
my
down
girlfriend's a
to Cave
teacher, so I was
Goldie's
using
place.
the year-long, well,
Really?
not teacher, but works at school, but using a year-long substance like license for it for free. But that's just ended. So basically, what I'm trying to do is not actually get it again until I've learned some
Judging
more
from the
like
tone of
Blender.
voice,
So then I
he was
can't
more
actually get
annoyed
distracted
than
by it. So
Which one? Quill or
pretty much
Golden
Blender Guru on
Boy?
YouTube.
They
Yeah,
both
fair.
sounded
Okay.
annoyed.
Yeah,
Annoyed
yeah,
or
I should look
not,
more at
we have
those.
to
I'm
work
also,
with him.
I've got
We need
like
someone strong enough to keep Raker
although I
in
don't
check
have much
if
cash at the
any chance
moment,
to get
like
to
I know
the-
like Udemy does a lot of or Udemy, I don't know how to pronounce it. I've got like had done a couple of courses on there for like setting up materials in Unreal and stuff like that, but
So,
yeah, I just got
Warlock.
more.
He's something.
But that's what you're on right now.
Not sure we
Okay,
can
nice.
trust the guy
Fucking
who
A.
looked at the unicorn himself and thought, the lad looks like a reliable
cool.
rascal.
Well, see, what happened was my girlfriend was just finishing her masters at uni during the time, so we used her actual student one on that. So I'm kind of hoping that, because it says it's for teachers as well, so I'm hoping the teacher one will work for this year. Although it's a bit different with the cards, so I don't know. Hopefully it'll be alright. Student Photos is great, but doesn't have access to all textures in the library. Yeah, and you don't get that like 30 downloads a month. But I've also tried putting a bit more. I'm trying to like, although there's some great ones I want to get, especially like in regards to skin textures on like on there. I kind of want to
Yeah, like
start using designer a bit more as well.
Who sleeps in a cocoon?
Like I haven't
and
done
owns a
too
cape?
much on it. I've done a couple of like materials on there.
Cape's nice.
I did an
I just
alright
dig the
brick one
cape.
kind of thing. It was alright. I put so much customization into it though. That was the nicest bit. But there's some really, really good like skin ones for like character art and stuff that I really want to like get my hands on. So it is tempting, but it is also then like 15 quid a month.
Yep.
There was more than
Photoshop
one
the
cave.
date on the card.
You really don't remember
mean-
anything at all?
I have a vague
Maybe that's
recollection
not a
of
bad shout actually.
dampness.
If she still has
Yep.
the card. Oh, I
That
might still
would
have the
be the
picture actually
case.
saved. It's not a bad shout. I mean, nobody ever try and con the system, but yeah, good shout, good shout, good shout, good shout.
Please, recount your adventures in the caves of
Man, they're just
Lamentis.
chatting. I feel
should
like I
be
should just leave them
informed
to
of what I
chat.
cannot recall.
Well, we found you in the village and Mantis knocked you out. Then we went down the caves until we found the cocoon.
Whoa there, you missed all the best parts. Like when Groot slapped the ancient tree god.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was in the way.
The tree fought a god. Impressive.
Yeah. Alright, let's do whatever this does. Also, after using GIMP for so long, I finally given in and like starting to use Photoshop. But mainly because like GIMP's been great for all of like the editing and stuff I need to do. But now I want to also try and do a bit more like concept art stuff. Just stuff like the actual way my pen tablet works with Photoshop over GIMP is
Yes, that
quite a big
explains why
difference.
we ain't been able to reach Cosmo.
Like the dynamic strokes and stuff is so much better, it seems, on Photoshop.
If you don't answer it, they'll vaporize us.
I will handle this communication.
Huh?
All yours, buddy.
What, Groot?
Hail, traveler. Have you accepted the truth of a divine promise?
We have. My deceased wife and daughter are with me. We thank the matriarch for her gift.
Oh, is he pretending to have the same horns as that
May
dude?
the promise be fulfilled. You are clear to land at the spaceport.
But Validus, dude, I've been seeing the odds like I'm still on your Discord obviously, so I see the odd stuff on your updates on like little maps you're making and stuff. Your shit is getting serious, dude. I haven't played Skater XL in so long, but
All
yeah,
them
if I do
bars.
jump back on it at any point, I
Betting
will definitely be
parlors.
downloading those maps
And
for it.
noodle joints.
Maybe it's not as bad as it looks.
I kind of have a semi-plan of like I might even make a Skater
Raker
XL map,
rallies regiments, while
or at
we
least
wait
go through the
whistling in the
process of it
wings.
to try and like get to
Landing
grips
as
of
fast as I
modelling
can, go.
and a bit of the
What
Unity
the
work
fuck?
side of stuff as well. If it ever gets released, that's what a completely
Great,
different matter.
the
But
Coon Boy thinks he's a butterfly now.
He is a man of action.
Alright, we are here wherever
Let's
that is.
just hope that he can keep the church busy while we look for Nikki.
Didn't think you'd be able to bluff your way through security muscles.
I am quite adept at deception.
We're gonna need more than that to get to the Continuum Cortex and rescue Nikki.
Especially with Golden Boy jumping ship.
Never
Should
scanner.
we, like, try to find him?
Time is running out. We cannot lose focus if we are to save the girl.
Drax is right. Let's just hope Warlock can do a bit of damage on his side.
Okay, I've looked at that. I was just seeing if Warlock like left a little poopy in the bed or anything. You never know with these guys, you know.
You're actually gonna miss Choga Dogs? I'm gonna miss Mantlos. And that place with the dancers.
And Alice Bar? Remember that time we caught a liquor thief under their sling boot table?
I remember how crap that liquor tasted. Who pays that much for rust juice?
So, final showdown against Raker. This time,
it's just a
you'll
final
get him for
countdown.
good.
I intend to. We're not leaving here without Nikki.
Makes
Just
sense.
so you know, I'll do everything I can to save your girl.
It's not even going to be his daughter in the end.
I know it's important to you.
Is it though?
Groot wants you to know he'll do all he can to save your kid.
You know what? I think I kinda understood that.
Your kid sure got herself in a deep, Quill.
Her mom died, man. If Warlock's telling the truth, that thing inside her is using Corell's death to manipulate her.
I get it. Ain't gonna be easy getting her out of there, but I'll die trying.
Alright.
Gotta make the Flarkers pay for what they did to Nowhere. And Contraxia. And all the killing and converting and stuff. Same here. Can't wait to whoop some rogue Flarkers.
For realsies. What about you, Llama?
You take care of the Milano, okay? Make sure the ship's still here when we come back.
It'll be in his belly.
Ready, Drax?
I am. My blades are as sharp as the rodent's tongue.
Was that a metaphor?
It was.
It's a
Holy
simile.
shit. Oh shit. Go on,
Just
Drax.
wanted to make sure you didn't have any lingering effects from the promise.
I know the evil it conceals. Magus and the church must be stopped.
Alright.
Let's do this. Time to save Nikki.
Oh, straight into a fight, hey? They don't even get to like unpack their bags.
Peter.
Okay. Just be cool. Let me handle these guys.
Let's fight. We all know what's gonna happen.
Welcome, travelers.
Thanks.
Have you come to witness the fulfillment?
The what now?
The realization of the Matriarch's promise. The beginning of a new world. One without death, or pain, or fear.
That sounds
You
lovely.
should know this. Weren't you vetted and cleared to land here?
What? Of course we were.
How are you not aware of the fulfillment? Something is wrong. These heretics must be stopped. Attack!
Oh, that doesn't sound very nice, does it? Oh shit! Oh yeah, because he's gone through his Mega ability unlocked. Wrath of Tough. Rejecting the promise and fully accepting his family's death show Drax how strong he is. He will now deal moderate damage and heavy stagger to a single enemy and moderate stagger to all nearby enemies when in range. He also deals more stagger while raging. Oh, motherfucker, I didn't even get the right thing on.
Keep them busy, crew! Drax, destroy! Do your thing, Gamora!
This is how it's done!
Who do you hate that, you flying fart?
Drax, toss it! Toss him around!
Make your peace!
Load up, Rocket! Let it free, Gamora!
Power kick.
Wacko's better pray their new world comes without death or pain or fear, because I'm gonna kill him for clarking up this spaceport.
What's that there?
They have been very busy redecorating.
Oh, points. I
All the
want
more
those
reason
points.
for us to get to the Cortex and find Nikki.
How do I get up there?
I don't mean to pry, so I'll let you.
Nice, nice.
The promise is to be realized. Converted will be flocking in to witness it. Are we the only new arrivals?
We must be late.
Ooh, there's a little costume over here. Right, which one? Thanos Imperative. Oh, that's sick. Let's leave him as he is, but yes, Drax. Put her in a noble on this. Let's shake it up a bit. That was cool on him. We're definitely keeping that. And make Groot back like that as well. Actually, no, fuck it. Let's give her the evil one as well. Yeah, there we go. Looks pretty cool. Pretty neat. Neat, neat, neat. There we go now, Donna.
The rift's the end of the known universe, bud. Don't see how it figures into anything.
Oh, Drax looks baller. What's that?
Scott! Cosmos Tower's shut down.
Why's my mouse on screen for me?
That's because it's never been dark.
My mouse is showing on
You do
screen. It's not
realize
showing
some of
on
the
yours,
guys
but
shooting at us were nowhere security?
that's weird.
This does not bode well for the dog.
Never was the Mutt's biggest fan, but we could have used a backup telepath.
Just because the tower shut down doesn't mean Cosmo is too.
Where's that appeared all of a
Last
sudden?
time we were here, he knocked out me, Gamora, and Drax, and Lady Hellbender's bounty hunters, like it was nothing. We just gotta have faith he's okay.
We gotta have faith.
Really, Peter? Faith?
There does appear to be an excess of it stored here.
Maybe I need to like try that. No. Huh. That's quite annoying. I've just got the, you can't see it on your screens, but I've got my, like, a white arrow showing the mouse. Maybe do this and then reload last checkpoint type deal. See if that helps.
Kinda dreading what we're gonna see in the marketplace.
The same thing we saw when we flew in.
Yeah, but it'll be up close. Nowhere really stunk sometimes, but...
Flark! Over there!
There's so many of them. I thought most nobodies would have rejected the promise.
Everyone wants something they can't have.
Yeah, but these crooks were suspicious of anyone.
You're right, Rocket. The people who lived here were rough. I once saw someone beat someone else to a pulp because they gave them a compliment.
Is this nowhere?
No
Because if so,
way
hopefully
they'd
we can still
willingly
get a collect
join
this
up.
place.
A sword to the throat can be very convincing.
So can the promise.
They got Flark and Faith batteries everywhere.
Just like on Hala's Hope.
Perhaps they have built another giant ray gun inside the Continuum Cortex.
To siphon faith from multiple worlds at once? Is that even possible?
The energy ain't killing these batteries. It's moving away from them.
So they're powering something.
Sure looks like it.
Oh, what's this little thing?
I'm surprised the church was able to seize the Cortex. It seemed pretty secure last time.
Wasn't half as secure as the dog thought.
The Church's forces increased by the tick. Their superior numbers could have easily breached the defenses.
Well, we got just the 5 of us. Filling us all with confidence there, big guy.
Let's keep it down. They don't know we're here.
Should we, like, hide them? Or kill them?
Make him hurt, Gamora!
Now they know we're here.
They do not fear death.
Are we disrupting the renovation plans, boys?
Larkin right.
Why wouldn't we
Leave
fight, you know?
life nowhere the way it was.
Smash them up, friends! Don't think your boss is gonna be too happy
go.
with you.
And that's how we
More
do sneak
batteries the
attacks.
deeper we go. 100 units says.
Right. So we've got all his moves. We don't have all of hers. We have all of his. Don't have all of his. And we still need to get them their special moves. How do we do that? Seeing them dealing moderate damage, followed by a wave engine that deals moderate stagger to enemies behind initial target. Option that release several darts and impact each shock and deal light stagger to each enemy for a short duration. Enemies on effect take more down. Okay. Let's get Rocket completed.
They're tied to the fulfillment.
Priest said that they were
They
bringing...
can't raise the dead, especially after we saved Nikki.
Oh, can I get my winnings though? I did win back here last time and they wouldn't let us have it. Oh, hello.
Wonder if any of these fortune tellers saw this coming.
Unlikely. They were all shot.
Most of them were pickpockets and fences.
New outfit.
Pretty useful people to know.
Okay, who's this for? Another one for Rocket, smuggler outfit, okay. He's getting all of them, man. That's pretty cool.
Over here! Looks like we can squeeze through.
We must be close to Mantlow's bar. Can you see it?
Not really. There's a lot of debris in the way.
There is no way through this wall.
What a good
Could
thing
be a
is you
bunch of
can't spell
wackos just
debris
waiting for
without
us on the
breathe.
other side.
That's
Good
tasty.
point. Peter, you should find a way over to check.
Peter!
Well, that didn't work.
Clark, I'm going in.
Oh, that's
What
it,
about
good.
the fanatics?
I'll toast them if I see him. We're the only ones that can do this, right?
Gamora, you should be able to get your sword in there now. Give me a boost.
Let's hope it holds.
Yeah.
Why can't I get up there? There we go.
Oh, God! Not Mantlow's. Oh. Look at her. This is personal, Quill.
Peter, let's go!
Alright. Did I have to do something else?
I
then?
had a contact here.
That'll be fine.
Rotations ago.
You did? Was it Blurf?
No.
Do that.
Shduppen. Hoots, maybe? Whoa, wait. Cat-free. He always gave Groot the creeps.
I am Groot.
I know how much you love this dive.
It was the one spot in this whole Flarkin galaxy where a guy could feel safe. I mean, except for the bar
I've missed my
brawls
chance
and
going to
the
collector's
security
place now.
raids and the bounty hunters.
We'll drink to it later. Right now, we've got to keep moving.
When we are done here, we will need to tell a Rhapsodus about these adventures. There's been no sign of Goldie Braun since he left from our ship.
Adam Warlock.
Might be splattered somewhere across the lower city.
Or got picked up by a wandering creep squad.
Or maybe he was lying about which side he was on.
Let's be honest,
just waiting
Peter's
to
not doing
attack.
much. That's all
Warlock
Drax.
carries an old grudge.
Oh, maybe the collector's place is still going. It was down there.
Yeah, what do we need the Golden Boy for anyways? We were doing fine without him.
I was not fine. Magus was devouring my soul. Your memory is suspect.
My memory is flawless. I'm just an optimist.
You know why we need Warlock to stop Magus's space magic ritual? We don't know space magic!
Yeah, because that ain't a real thing.
Man, I'm not so sure anymore, not after Lamentus. None of this makes any sense, but Mantis gave us somebody who can fight it.
Somebody who also makes some sense.
Exactly! I think. He can deal with his evil twin.
More churchies dropping in.
They'll be dropping like flies soon enough.
I'll just walk right into that one. These deluded souls do not know when to
I
quit.
can't get more to it just yet.
Rock it! Do your thing! Crash Sapwood! I'm with you, bud! Let's squash this guy!
Are there none left to fight? My fists have quelled the believer!
This looks like a dead end.
For some more than others.
Shh! Try not to give ourselves away.
There's what I'm after. That's what I'm after. Show me what I'm after.
Do you hear something? Like chanting.
No.
Hey,
Looks like the church is trying to keep us out of there.
That's not gonna work.
Whoa. The Emporium used to be right here. Did the church destroy it?
Doubt it. The Collector probably blasted out of here at the first sign of trouble.
Before the first sign, the Collector's supposed to be able to see the future.
Oh yeah? You never saw me coming, that's for sure. Had no idea I'd bust Groot out of there. Hero? Don't get all mushy on me now.
I wanted to get in there and have a look. Hopefully it's still preserved. Right, let's rock and roll.
I have seen nowhere this desolated before.
No way. When?
If you wander about early enough in the morning, it is.
I was holding back.
Careful, Peter Quill.
Guys, look down. It's an awful lot of light.
You're thinking it's the full Flarkman, ain't you? But it could just be runoff from the cables. Whatever these whack jobs are up to, they need a lot of juice.
Perhaps this is how they powered their fleet to reach Lamentus.
Nah, the Cortex could...
Nikki had Warlock's soul stone in her hand. What if it's fused there and Raker's trying to remove it?
Like you did with Goldilocks? Didn't work all that well the first time.
The girl may have sensed the evil in the stone and insisted they try again.
Or she's outlived her usefulness and Raker wants the stone's power for himself.
Regardless, we must reach the Undercity to find the girl and stop whatever
Oh,
they're doing.
And we'll have to be ready
Well,
for
that
them
was
to
close.
try and stop us.
The converted ones will be prepared to die in order to bring their loved ones back to life.
Which is pretty ironic if you think about it.
Oh, yeah. Give me the loot, give me the loot.
Our level of cooperation is invigorating. We have become a formidable team.
Yep, we sure have, Drax.
Ain't we just one big, happy Flarkin family?
are you doing with that garbage?
She's not garbage.
Get him.
Behold the power of the light! Via Magnati!
Who that? That looks like
Guardians of the Galaxy! Save the believers and alert the Grand Unifier! The movement must not be stopped!
Gamora.
That's it. He finally snapped.
Gamora, wait for us! I'll use Rex! Ruin who? What's going on right now, Gamora? Zap! I love playing Zappa Zealot!
It's a gold over there.
Whatever happened to not running in?
It's lots of gold.
Send it their way, Drax! At least we stopped whatever that priest was doing here!
The full
Rush him,
Clarkman?
Drax!
Nah, can't be that easy.
What the? Coach is juicing his team members!
Let's sever his ties that bind!
That's enough.
Will, unleash me onto these fools!
Alright, I'm just gonna capture this dude first.
Wanna see some fireworks?
Oh, drop kick.
Must be a doll thing.
Oh, nice. Hey, PT baby! How you doing today, dude? Just in time to just kick some ass. Been lurking, oh yeah. Get on your Smurf account to help us in Rocket League. I do not have a Smurf account. You have to be good for that shit. What rank are you on Rocket League at the moment?
Through them like butter!
How have you been, my man?
You're not the only one fighting this battle! Guys,
Let's
huddle
power it up. I haven't actually played in ages. Maybe we'll do a little bit of that later as well. Depends how long we actually stream for.
It's like they want me to keep blowing them up.
You're gold. Okay,
And
fucking
I
A,
gotta
nice.
admit,
That's pretty decent.
Every time they go splat, it paints an awfully nice picture.
Yeah, I don't have any like Smurf accounts or
There's
anything
no
like that.
way
So.
we lose today, Quill.
We are painting the battlefield right now, Rocket. In so many shades.
Trying to get Mokoro Gold Reward.
But
Nice, fucking A.
Too excited. This love fest, this dazzling
keep at it, man.
euphoria, it'll all disappear.
Yeah, maybe we'll do
Who's
some
with me?
Rocket League later. It's been a long time. Basically, the plan was... Oh, shit. The plan was to do... I was like the final one in, but I just did all that and... Shit. Well, the plan was I was going to do this for about an hour, which I have done roughly, and then I was going to do the clip show, but I might wait for a few more people to come in for the clip show. We've also got a new song to listen to, and by myself, and Enderman and some people were saying about
Never better.
seeing some videos from the orchestra that
definitely
I'm
not
in
good.
with my lovely girlfriend.
Gamora, wait, hold
and there's
on a
footage.
sec.
Why?
We'll be watching some of that.
Some more children can be sacrificed.
Oh,
in
man.
Breakers flarked up church.
Yeah, so my bot just keeps freezing.
Just what, Peter?
I don't know.
I think it knows space.
Every minute we waste. We don't have
Do
time.
you think this isn't in space? I don't actually know.
I know Raker brings back bad memories.
This isn't about Thanos. It's about Nikki and what men like Raker and Thanos do to girls like her. Like me.
I mean...
My sister. I've just been better at protecting Nebula. Maybe she wouldn't be dead.
Well, I was thinking for the multiplayer side of
Nebula's
stuff,
dead?
maybe doing
By who? Tell me. So I
potentially
can
doing
find
some
him and
like
shake his attack in hand.
browser-based games, like maybe Cards Against Humanity,
By me.
maybe some Jackbox type games potentially.
You
Yeah, but if we can get more people on. I don't know if Among Us is still Viva, and it's a very big game, like 700 gigabytes.
That's how I knew it was a lie. The Nebula I knew had been twisted into a
it's been a while since we played them.
hateful, vengeful monster thing. One who would never stop unless I stopped her.
Oh, you murdered her.
So I did.
Wait, killed your sister? That's not on
I just
camera.
never expected to survive.
Why didn't you say something?
It's not exactly a conversation starter.
Well, it is.
Hi, I'm Gamora. I murdered my sister. Can we be friends?
I'd ask a bit more about it. It would be a conversation starter, sure. Maybe not friendship starter, but
Of course we can't. How can you be friends with a monster?
easy.
Why would you want that on your team?
Did you not see Monsters Inc?
A team I actually kind of enjoyed being on,
Yes, we can.
all things considered.
Alright, we'll perk up.
I hate Nebula, so I actually would have... What? I'm just saying it don't change nothing.
Actually, it changes everything. The most deadly woman in the galaxy just admitted she loves us.
Get him. Look at that grin. Shit-eating grin.
I did not.
You did. You said you were in love with us right after the part about killing your sister.
I said I enjoyed your company.
That is the Catathian definition of love.
Like, I'll give you like. Can we just move on?
Agreed. That's about all the love fest I could take.
Oh.
We accept you, Gamora Zenuburi.
Pretty sure we're married now.
This is excruciating.
All right, I'm pretty sure we've all caught our breath. What say we go stop a nutjob cult leader?
Yes.
She's got Omega ability. Just need Groot. We found a truth about Nebula. We found a family who accepts her full that she is. Gamora no longer holds back. The deadliest women in the galaxy now deal super heavy damage by hitting a single target multiple strikes. Read.
Incoming! Slow him down! All you, Rocket! This combat is sure to draw the Warlock's attention!
Just hope Warlock's causing a distraction somewhere.
Sick of tracks! With pleasure! Why are there so many of them? This is nothing compared to some battles I've fought! Blow away, Rocket!
Fine, Breaker. I get it first.
Just make sure you're careful! Punchy tracks! Feels like I've been shooting that big one for hours! It is as venerable as it is large! We must break it!
Oh, Jesus.
Like
Hey,
a
that's me.
Put down my friend, or else...
You struggle in vain! They are coming at us from everywhere! We're gonna stop them every time!
Oh shit.
Bad, shut robot!
Rocket! This is just gonna get harder from here!
I'm just getting warmed up! Still can't believe you killed Nebula!
Not now, Rocket! Throw that
This one
tracks!
doesn't feel pet.
Oh, come on, back. Oh.
Stop him short, Groot! Release her at once, or face the destroyer!
Feel this?
This combat is short!
Gamora was the green one in the movie. Yes, yes she was, yeah.
Him again. No way! Eat this!
I am in your debt, Peter Quill!
Barely a
took his
flesh
armor.
wound. You'll be fine.
Please put a wound.
JP will be barely denting this thing! It is as venerable as it is large! We must break it!
Nebula's the blue one. Yeah, that's it, yeah. Expert, basically.
Save your ammo! Hit this creep with a special port! Well, it's got through!
There we go. Have I ever killed someone in real life?
With access to the vortex, who knows how many
it's one of the things I never got around to.
bring in here. We gotta shut it down.
Let's get to the bridge. Cosmos Tower is the quickest way.
Well, I've never been charged. Yeah.
We should be prepared in case the Grand Unifier arrives.
Alright.
That seems long enough
Smash
for
it.
a bridge. Drax?
I have been eager to topple something over.
Nicely done.
You know, I usually hated when that Cosmos spotlight would shine down on me, but now I kind of miss it.
Interactive.
Really? A fate force field?
If we can find the power source, we should be able to turn it off.
Let's get looking then.
Oh, wrong one. Ah, there we go.
That's it, Peter.
Thanks.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm
we
great.
need to get out of here before Raker shows up.
Alright, button. Eating crisps.
All right, dead ahead. Let's book it. How is the?
Order. All these
Guardians
nerds.
of
Hey,
the
Raker.
galaxy. The matriarch has chosen to enact the fulfillment from this station. And you shall not stop her.
She hasn't chosen anything. You've been manipulating her from the start.
She is the light. And I am merely her servant.
Kinda hard to be the light with that dark monster thingy inside of her.
Blasphemy! You may have rejected her promise, but you will believe when it returns you from death's cold clutches.
That was easy. They're all buddies.
Your pain has pushed you to a perilous precipice, old friend.
How? It can't be. I saw you die.
Form is fleeting, but the foundation remains forever. Now cease this stubborn senselessness before
Yeah,
it
you
reaps
dummy.
a ruinous reward.
Ruinous.
Oh shit, they're both pretty powered. Rock and roll, baby.
Oops.
Well, they'll figure it out. Oh, we've got basic nerds to deal with.
Perhaps this will tell tale of our battles here.
But what now?
Light him up, Rocket! Drax O'Clock! Root, snag him!
On the left!
Fucking sniper! Damn coward!
We need to close this distance! You don't stand a chance!
The Witch Doctor elevates our challenge in combat!
Yeah, the sooner that guy's down, the better.
We approach the
Oh,
dog.
wrong button, just trying to punch him.
We still have to fight our way through.
There we go. Hey, Interrude! No man, how have you been, dude? Oh, you got an ad? Brutal.
So many labs
We'll reconvene in a
what's
moment.
the cover?
I will flank them! Need some breathing room, Groot!
Sorry, wait for that. Oh shit!
Now it's Nova! Wow.
Hey, Dog Hater, my man. How has life been, dude?
This'll work! We can leapfrog our way back onto the bridge!
Leapfrog?
It's a... Just
Bloody
follow
ad,
my
so
lead!
right.
Last time someone got stabbed.
Stab. Stabbing's
Great
dangerous.
strength was underutilized!
What's next, Peter?
Oh, is this not where I'm going to be going? I don't know. What's next? Oh,
Well, I guess Goldie survived that jump!
Did you see Raker's face when he showed up?
tracks! Toss it!
Oh, that's a big old throat.
Stay away from the edges!
Look! Golden Boy and Uni-Flarker are still at it!
Oh, yeah.
All the strong stuff wasn't just talk!
We're sitting ducks! You are wrong on both counts!
He means we can't stay here!
On this we are agreed!
Can I get her to chop it? Yeah, nice.
The billboard!
Good call!
You find more snipers over there! You saved me one!
No promises!
Oh, God damn.
Crap! Now it's Nova!
They're not Nova anymore, Peter!
Batter him. Batter him. Who's it? Oh, Jesus.
String him up, Bruce!
Make sure you don't fall off!
I got jet boots, remember? Rocket! Go wild! Welcome death! Took down one of the normal core nut jobs!
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Just once I'd like to cross this bridge without incident!
You can thank Goldie for that!
The warlock saved us from certain death!
Ah, I ain't scared of Raker and his little go!
Jesus.
Do your thing, Drax! With fervor! Well, I guess Goldie survived that jump! The warlock
Oh, shit. Oh, God damn. I need to look where my edges are.
Stay away from the edges!
I will toss them to their death!
Oh, shit.
What's next, Peter?
I need you to save me, Gamora.
You made me do it, you nut-chop face hawk!
That soldier was delirious, but now he is dead! Pull the Fizzle!
Stop buzzing around! Come down here and fight me!
I also require the grounding of this renegade!
Punched him when he's down. Lovely. Oh, and I'm on the edge.
Shot him?
Oh yeah, that was great. Right in the butt. Did you see the look on his face? It was all like, oh, my gilded glutes.
Regal Raider! His perfect posterior! His champion cheeks!
They're still battling, are they? We can use that bridge. Let's go down the slide, I guess.
Running and gunning on rooftops. This is kind of fun.
Too close! Well, I guess Goldie survived that jump!
I swear, if Warlock kills Raker before I get a chance!
Deadliest woman incoming!
I thought you'd never ask! Make sure you don't fall off!
I got jet boots, remember?
Yeah, but I keep falling off, to be fair.
As long as they're here, they can't go through the whatever they called it!
The full Flarkman!
That was not the name!
I like it better!
It's a hand, baby! That's nice to cut. Uppercut.
This will tell tale of our battles here! Oh man! Back on Earth, there was this great song! No mercy!
Well, you're a big target, that's why.
Guys,
Let's
huddle
group up.
up!
What a blast! I haven't felt this excited since the Galactic War!
Better watch her out there, Quill. She fought on both sides, remember? Whereas me, I don't need to take sides to mow anybody down. I
Just gets
just
his
love
lawnmower
making scumbusters go boom!
Let's make one thing clear. Guardians do not dig their own graves.
What? Why are you talking about graves?
Or digging.
You're not hearing me. Those losers are the ones who will be digging graves. Because we're about to bury them.
That doesn't work.
Who's with me?
That was
Way to read the team, Peter!
Yeah, we did it. I don't know. Ow!
Running and gunning on rooftops. This is kind of fun.
So now you're finally happy?
Root! Hog-tie time!
What are we got there?
I will toss them to their deaths!
Oh. Kinky.
Okay! We gotta get to that elevator!
Too bad they busted up the bridge.
There it
Make
is.
sure you don't fall off!
I got jet boots, remember?
Whoa.
What is next, Peter Quill?
Up there, buddy. Oh yeah, I forgot I can do the grapple thing on them.
Of course it was easier to get to before.
Don't sweat it! You didn't
She
stand
got
a
it, she got it.
chance!
It wasn't the best of
Raker's
huddles, but
congregation just lost a member!
Finally! I think
we
they're
don't
giving
need to
up.
huddle. We're good.
Just in time, because we're not getting back on that bridge.
Now we're gonna smash
I
through
know
the
where we
floor.
are. There's a road nearby that intersects the main bridge to Cosmos.
That's
it
one
down
way
there?
down.
The best way.
Whee!
Look, they're still at it.
At least our guy's definitely winning.
Does he? It's hard to tell. Okay,
We need to be on the other side of
I
this
know, I'm
thing.
waiting for it to let me do
We're
my
not
thing to
getting
make a bridge.
over.
Of course we are, we've got to make
Under
a bridge.
suffice.
Why can't I do my thing?
Boom, baby!
Oh, that's what I have
Sure
to
are
do first.
destroying a lot of advertising today.
Like we need another reminder to buy Calyx cream.
Oh, maybe I just need to do it again. No,
I
surely
did
Groot.
see a floor directly below this one.
I ain't seeing no hatch or nothing. Hey, Quill, try your visor.
Rocket, you go ahead.
As if.
Groot, you do the honors.
No,
You
apparently
gonna
not.
make us a bridge or what?
I'm trying.
Who
Bye.
cares if he didn't ask? This ain't no time to be polite, you
I did
big
ask.
stump.
Where is he?
Part of the floor looks weak.
Oh.
Good thing we got old Big Boots.
We've already smashed through
Not
that
the
floor.
size of the
Oh.
boot, but the might of the one who wields it.
All you, Drax.
No.
Give us something to walk on, will you?
Where is Groot? Groot. Well. We've lost Groot, and we kind of need the fucker. Where is he? Maybe if I just do a little bit of this. He'll be here now. No. Yeah, our trees disappeared. Oh, maybe I meant to go back through here. Oh no, this is just to get a costume. Maybe he'll be there when I get back. Oh, more a casual kill outfit. That sounds nice. Yeah, lovely. Everyone's rocking their own individual style. Right, let's hope he's here. I can't hear the walking tree. Where'd he go? I might have to reload last checkpoint, because... I'm going to reload last checkpoint. Hopefully it's like here anyway, but just with Groot this time. Okay, there he is now.
Finally! I think they're giving up.
Just in time, because we're not getting back on that bridge.
Drax, buddy, let's make a hole.
That's one way down.
Right, Groot, I'm making sure you actually come up this time. No, go on, go on. Little shit.
Whoop!
Boom, baby!
Look, they're still at it.
At least our guy seems to be winning.
There we go. That bloody time, Groot.
Groot.
Oh,
You gotta be flarkin' kidding me.
Warlock better not kill Raker before I get to him.
Yeah,
I am eager to pull that sorcerer's insides to the outside.
I don't need another round. Warlock can squeeze the life out of that freak for all I care.
Don't suppose Groot knows another side route.
If I could just get to the other side, I could hack that thing and drop the bridge.
Maybe it's time to actually let
If
Drax
you
throw
can
him.
get to the other side, we can get to the other side, and it wouldn't matter.
Throw me.
What?
Throw me! Just get muscles to huck me across.
We have to
Do you
build
have
it up to
any
that.
idea how far down it is if you miss?
We ain't got time to argue. I'll make it.
Leave this to me!
Glad that wasn't Rocket.
You are a valued member of this team.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Jewel thrown about.
Worried about this ritual. And what's really gonna happen if we can't stop it.
Ain't gonna be dead people coming back, holding hands and wagging tails, that's for sure.
We won't have to worry about that. I know I can get through to Nikki. This is Raker's doing, not hers.
Oh, it's not
I
previously
won't
made,
give
but
up on
nice.
her either.
Nor will I.
Yeah, and neither will the Grand Unicorn.
He will regret it.
Right, is everyone in? Because I don't want to have to go
Dumb
back
are
to the
these
checkpoint.
flarknards to even fall for this full flarkment garbage.
Magus demands adulation, trapping you with vile illusion while feeding on your soul.
I felt it in my promise too. That endless hunger.
Oh yeah. Hungry is an understatement.
Holy faith!
All that light isn't leading to the cortex. It is the cortex.
How could that mutt let this happen?
Looks like you'll get to ask him yourself.
Hey, Cosmo.
Cosmo!
We've got to get down there!
Don't count him out just yet. I've seen him get out of worse scrapes.
So I feel like we are getting to the end parts of this game. So like, oh shit. We'll probably maybe push on with this until my break. Then after the break, we'll listen to my new song, and we'll do a little clip show before moving on to multiplayer stuff.
Nobody kicks the dog on my watch! Oh no! It's a breathing room, Groot!
Oh, I just failed those.
And the rest of him! Bombs away, Rocket! Let's see the Cosmo! Talk to us here! The dog is lost in memories of the past!
Things pretty tough for an open game.
The solution is simple! We must take it out first!
I guess this means there's no nowhere resistance!
The dog is not Gamora! Cut back!
Holy shit. Oh, no, I'm getting fucked up.
Keep him off, Cosmo!
Gotta keep him off me. Ah, he died. Carry on without me. Let's try it again.
Get away from my dog! Fight them, dog!
Shit. That is.
Why does the dog not mind blast them?
I don't think he's in there no more.
Move it! Let loose, Rocket!
We're barely scratching the big thing tonight.
Divine Commandment #1! These fanatics only understand violence!
I guess this means there's no nowhere resistance!
The dog is not dead yet!
The mutt better remember us saving his tail here.
And the rest of him! Big one forward! It is as venerable as it is large! We must break it!
Oh shit, it regenerated her.
Don't be sad! Keep punching, they're scutting lights out!
I can barely cut into his armor!
Yo!
Oh, slow mo. Hey, in blue! How you doing today, my dude? Oh, Jesus. Getting a bit topsy-turvy here. Oh, Jesus. Get over here. Oh, Jesus, right through the face. Oh, I'll hydrate quick. So I'm starting to learn the trick on this section is try not to die. I just got to figure out how not to die. We'll get there. We'll get there. Watching from Cyprus, nice. How's the weather?
Away from my dog! Why does the dog not mind blast them?
Something's wrong with him!
Put down another fanatic! These deluded souls do not know when to quit! This is an historic battle! The last stand of nowhere!
We lose Cosmo to them and it's all over!
Rocket! Fireworks! It's all you, Gamora! Round him up, crew! We gotta keep him off Cosmo! They will not touch him!
You're right, buddy. We should all beat on drilling.
Mob it at him, big guy!
I guess this means there's no nowhere resistance!
I wasn't expecting any.
Man,
Should have
that
done the
giant
E thing.
robot can take a lot of pain!
That's right.
Never see it coming! Kick him in the nards, Rocket!
Nerd, yo. Oh, who's this nerd?
Hang in there, Rocket!
Guys! The big android is open! Get it!
So we got
Well
part
done,
of
you
this
two! A tactfully executed maneuver!
Kick to the face, let's go.
We gotta keep him off Cosmo! They will not touch him!
This won't hurt! Much!
Get him.
Rocket! Blast him! Feels like I've been shooting that big bot for hours! This is an historic battle! The last stand!
Oh, shit.
Something tells me we got more scraps.
That was a good little dodge, right? Alright.
Hold him down!
Hold it down, boy. Your head's getting blurred. It's hot, okay. Hey man, that's what you want for a nice holiday in Cyprus though, right? Any particular highlights of the trip so far?
What the fuck are you doing? He's one of them now.
He's our
Promise.
friend.
Yeah, so is Drax. And I ain't going inside this fleabag's head.
That's fair.
Maybe it doesn't have to come to that. Hey, buddy. Are you,
No, don't be a dick, Cosmo. We're trying to help. Bad boy. Bad boy.
Take him out before it's too late.
Wait! He's still in there. I can hear him.
I hear only barking.
Yeah, I was gonna say, same.
Focus your mind. He's there.
Oh, Flark it, just shoot the mutts.
Easy, bud. Friends, remember?
Please don't bite my hand off. It's nothing.
Cosmo knows never lie.
Yeah, buddy. It's me. It's all of us.
Where is Cosmo smelled? Smell of nowhere.
Where else would we be? Furbrain.
His mind is addled. Or he is simply a dog.
Oh.
He doesn't see us. He's still in the promise.
Cosmo, where are you? What do you see?
Blue sky and cars to chase. Cosmo is back. Doma, how you say? Home.
He's talking about Earth.
Smell of fresh grass. Feeling of dirt between paws. No psychic burden, just walkies for going. And the ball for fetch.
He does sound like he's having a blast, to be
You
fair.
missed your home planet. Could you not simply return at any time?
Nowhere is your home. Right here and now.
Nowhere is nothing. Dead heads, mind for scrap.
It's way more than that. This place is special.
If by met you mean I saved your bark, then yeah, we met here.
It's true. Nowhere was first place since Earth. Cosmo not feel like stray dog. First time, Cosmo forget what was lost.
This place is a haven for misfits like us. Like you.
You're getting deep, isn't
It's
it?
home. Earth is just some rock where you were born.
It's not about rock. It's about what Cosmo had on rock. Foot of bed.
Hey, Nenzimo, how you doing today, bro? Thank you very much, man. Oh shit! And Nenzimo coming in with the sub. 43 months now as well. God damn, bro. Thank you very much, dude. And how is your day going?
Men in suits sent Cosmo into space. Cosmo searched many dog years for those he lost. But yet.
You had owners. It sounds like they gave you up.
I lost my family too.
Just
My
come out of
mom
this.
died right in front of me when I was just a kid.
Then Piotr Quill should know. Cosmo would work like dog to have family back.
If they are part of this promise, these humans are
And
most
Nenzimo, I will show you
assuredly
some of
dead.
the Radiohead
Do not be swayed
stuff
by
in
the
a
bribe
bit.
of the
I'm
return
basically going to
of
probably
Zombies.
carry on with this for about half hour more.
Promises
Have a
only
break, and then about
until
8:30 we're going to do
perhaps it's
my new
Kataki
song
who lost
and then a little clip show before we move on to some multiplayer.
Come on, Cosmo, you gotta know this doesn't
But I'll chuck in some
smell
Radiohead
right.
stuff either before or after the break, I reckon.
Piotr Quill is right.
Or actually, can you let it just like autoplay on G Drive? Or no, you have to do it one by one probably, don't you?
Bite them with all your might.
Be gone! Cosmo not fetch.
Good boy. Go on,
That's it,
Cosmo.
buddy, you tell him.
Nowhere is Cosmo home. His pups, his family, will protect at all costs.
Sick him, boy.
Yeah, good dog.
Should we help him? I mean, we may need him.
He'll
I am
figure it
optimistic
out.
for the beast's recovery.
Cosmo's got his
I think I've got
mission.
one by one. Okay.
We've got ours.
Well, maybe during the
Let's
break.
get to the cortex.
Yeah, if I turn, if I use like
Think he'll be okay?
He's got a
I should be able to control my PC
All
through
right,
my
I still
phone.
got access codes
So maybe
from
on
when
the
me
break,
and Groot were on vacation.
I'll try and just remember to press play on the next ones.
Why do you always gotta
Which
be
non-moon
so
songs did we do? So we did
attacking scratch
Pyramid
snappers?
Song,
Gah!
Reckoner,
Changed the codes.
Creep.
All right, people. Let's find another way through.
I want to say another one, but I can't remember
Perhaps
now.
you entered the code incorrectly. I have made the same
Um,
mistake.
With those sausage fingers? Of
but we
course
also
you
did
have.
we also did
These
a
nibble
whole bunch
digits
of
don't make
non-Radiohead
mistakes.
songs as well. So like yeah, there's other songs that we did that weren't Radiohead tracks as well.
Yep. Drax, can you handle this?
An
Kill my
intriguing
horse,
texture.
and that dog way gone. Cosmo's this is a good boy.
I
He knows
fear
what
I
he's
will
doing.
regret this.
Just don't start
I
kicking
swear
up
we did
dust.
4 non-Moonshaped Pool songs.
Drax, how do you
I'm
keep
sure we
from
did. I
breaking
can't
your
remember what
hand
other
smashing
non-one we
forever?
did.
So, stolen
Jesus.
codes, jail time. What exactly were you and Groot doing down here before?
The flark was that?
An earthquake?
Unlikely. We are not on Earth.
Whatever they're doing, I think they just took it to the next level.
actually think about it, we could, maybe if I pause this now, hopefully there's still enough that it's worth playing this again a different day for the thing. But we could do some of the Radiohead tracks now, maybe actually.
I've seen enough gold to last a lifetime.
What do you guys reckon? Would you rather me play this for about like 25 minutes more, or would you rather watch some of the Fantasy Orchestra that myself and Felicia are a part of do a whole bunch of Radiohead tracks?